Come on in, welcome to my home. It's time for the April bullet journal. And I'm going to be super honest with you. This video almost didn't happen. As all of you know by now, there have been big events in the world, which I'm not going to go into because, well, demonetizing, whatever. But you know they are. Here's the thing. The reason I almost didn't make this video is because it was really easy to fall into that whole pit of despair, and I realized that I couldn't. I couldn't for me, and I couldn't for you. We're not going to let ourselves fall into that, and I realized that bullet journaling actually helps with that. It actually helps keep you on track and all those sort of things. So I pulled it all together today and decided, yes, we must go on with the bullet journal. I will tell you right up front, I'm throwing back in my mood journal, my mood tracker. Yeah, that's got to come back in. But it is going to be a completely, this is more light and fluffy and flowery, which is completely not like me, but I needed something more light and fluffy and flowery. Let's jump into a flip through of my March bullet journal up until now, which is Monday, the 16th of March. Let's take a look at where we are, because today is the 16th of March, and we are, this is different. So, first week, I am loving this layout, like absolutely loving this, with the events and some, I have tasks and events over here, and then tasks on this side, which don't really, the date is not as necessarily important as when that they just need to get done. It was so easy to fill out, absolutely love using this. You'll notice that this got some water on it, not real happy about that. But it did make getting things done much easier, reminding me that I did need to get things done. Now we are on to today, and this of course leads us to some of our new problems. Today, as I was going through our daily actions, and like I said in the beginning of this, the world is much different right now. Where I am, we are going to be confined for the next 2 weeks that we know of. It'll probably be much, much longer. And it was easy to slip into the whole, I don't want to do anything, I'll just stay in my bathrobe. But luckily I have this bullet journal which reminds me of the things which I need to do. So that's what's important. Then of course the next weeks are not done. And I am keeping up on all my exercise, but I think this is what's going to be the most important, is the fact that with my bullet journal I have got to keep it so that way I can keep things going. Okay, yeah, you saw I got water on my bullet journal. Not real happy about that. However, we can keep going. Alright, so let's do we're going to jump over to the, what is that, voiceover for the bullet journal, and I will go through and get that whole bullet journal done. This is done in way heavier pencil, simply because I just didn't even try to make the lines light. But we're going to go through and get it done right now. Let's get started. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to do our cover page, or our splash page. And I took inspiration from a wreath that I have in my house, which would give me I decided the overall color themes or colors I'm going to go for this month are yellow, something bright and something happy, so that we can then concentrate on making the world, or at least making our lives around here, a little better. So I thought I would go in with just doing the simple flowers, and these are just simple 4-leaf petals, sort of like the dogwood petals that I think those are dogwood, that you can see up in the upper left-hand corner. And then I added some of the green leaves. And I know right now you're saying, well, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It will in a second. The reason I'm using the dark colors is because I knew that I wanted the dark colors to recede. And the dark colors hopefully will look like they're more in the background, but I do want this to feel very light and airy. That's the important part. It needs to feel very light, very, very airy, and very just simple, because with everything which is going on in the world, I decided it must be simple. And it has to be something which is pretty, but not overly pretty, because I'm not an overly pretty, if you've ever heard me talk about this before, I generally do not like flowers, but I thought this time, we'll go flowers. Then the other one, I think this is another version of a dogwood, which is to the right. I will not swear to that. If you know what kind of flower that is, let me know down in the comments. So I thought I would do those flowers on the other side, and that is really, really easy because literally they're just sort of scribbled circles. And it looks nice, and I like it, and I can do this really quickly. And it didn't take a lot of thinking because, as we all know, thinking right now is sort of in a difficult space. As I said going into this, I did not think that I was going to do this video today. I wasn't sure what I would do, but I didn't. But we did this video, and I absolutely do really like what I came up with. Now, we're going to put in our lettering. I'm not real thrilled with this lettering. I do try to change it up a bit, and you'll probably see this evolve as the month goes along, but I went with a simple lowercase, nothing fancy. Then we put in my traditional monthly calendar along here, and I'm trying to figure out, exactly where everything should go. But then once we get going on that, we've got it. As what was interesting is, as I'm doing this, there are other things going on. So once I find the pen, we'll start with the dates. Now on my calendar, I almost never put in the anything on the dates. I don't use it as the traditional bullet calendar, which would be the bullet calendar at the beginning of the month, or where you have your events for the month. I never do that simply because I don't have to, because I can put in my events when I do them with the whole monthly layout. So since I have my whole month drawn in there, it is much better. And I do go for the whole layout for the putting in the days which are not there. I do put that in. So instead of starting on like the first week of April, I do start at the first day of April on my weekly. But we're not to that yet. I'm giving you a sneak peek. So we put in our dates, and I wish that I had taken a little bit more time with this, but it's okay. A lot was going on. I think it looks all right. I don't think I'll refer to this page just like the other ones. I don't refer to this page all that often, but I do refer to it enough that it's worth making sure that it gets in there. Let's start the weeklies. These weeklies, this rolling weekly, is one of my absolute favorite things ever. And I mean, can honestly say this is my absolute favorite thing ever because it just works so well for me. And like today, it held me accountable to make sure that I actually got done what really, truly needed to get done. Now I'm going in with doing my horizontal lines. I had to think about that for a second as I'm watching this, because I did my horizontal line and then my vertical line so that I can make sure that everything lines up, and this is the one which isn't exactly like the others. The others will be the full week. This actually week starts on Wednesday, so most of the stuff shows up on just on the one page. I do change up my cleaning schedule just a bit, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we get there. Now I'm going to go back in into it, or go in and put the days of the week in there, make sure that all of that stuff is there so that we can fill in the days of the week. And I make sure I have my water, because I do like the way the water is structured, where it is on the date and I can put it in as I drink it. It's nice to not have it have its own separate page. Now we are going to go on to, should have moved this over, we are going to go on to do the calendar on the other side. And like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you will find that this has evolved. It's even evolved now because a lot was going on as I was doing this. And that's the cleaning box. So I put in my task, and these are the tasks, my normal task with everything from washing dishes, meditating, watering the dog, all those fun and exciting things. But I really want to make sure, especially right now, that I know what those things are, and I get all of those things done. Now, when it comes to cleaning, this is different. What it is we're going to go back to the indicators. A slash for cleaning, a backward slash for decluttering, a downward mark for mopping, a line for vacuuming, and then a circle for disinfecting. Because, right now, that's really important. Now we're going to go for the weekly. The weekly does look a lot like the other one, but it spreads it out over the whole 2 pages, line up in there and make sure that everything looks great. But we do finally get it all together. Now, putting in the dates and the times, or putting in the dates and everything, is just like it was before on the other one. Then we flip over to the other side and we do the monthly calendar. I will be highlighting the monthly calendar, and you will, I'm just repeating myself, you will see that on my Instagram, where will do a weekly recap of the picture, probably on a Sunday maybe. Yeah, Sunday would be the end of the week. Yes, probably on a Sunday, and then we write in all of our tasks that we need to do. I do love this taskbar. The rolling taskbar gets so many things done so quickly that's what's really important, because then I can have the different tasks and when I'm going to do them just all written in there, and I keep the dates or the significators of all this on that. Now we are into just starting with the next week. Now we're going to go a little faster because all of these are almost exactly the same, and that's the cool part. With these all being exactly the same, it goes so much faster to do them. But it looks good, it feels good, and I like the fact that if you do your whole entire month, yes, that does leave you with a whole entire month that has to be done the exact same way, but it's there. I don't have to think about the fact that, oh gosh, I'm going to have to do a layout for the week or a layout for this or anything like that. I think that's going to keep me coming back to my bullet journal, because I didn't have to worry about laying it out each and every week. I don't know what each and every week is going to bring us with these times that we are in. So this way it is all set up, all ready to go, and I really like being able to put all that stuff in there. So now we once again write out all of these. Now if I had this set up so that I only had to do the task per day, I don't know how you would do that, how you would do a monthly rolling to-do list. I have to look into that. If you know how you would do a monthly rolling to-do list, do let me know down in the comments. But this rolling to-do list is probably one of my absolute favorite things that I do on these things ever. And like I said, this is where this just gets a little bit repetitive, so we are going to speed this along very quickly. Now let's really speed this up. You've seen all this, you don't need to go through this again. It all works out just exactly the same with the dates and everything. Do you have a specific way of laying these things out that you like to do? I will go back through and highlight the week that we are on, which is what I normally do, but on this one I just didn't, because I didn't think about it until I had already uploaded, or not uploaded, but until I had already finished all of these videos. This is the end of the week. I mean, this is the end of the last full week, so it makes it a lot easier to go back and look at this and say, hey, that's how we should do. Now, I will correct that April later on. You will see that in the finished pictures that you will see monthly or weekly, but you will see that I do enjoy just the 4 days, because we only have 4 days at the end of the month. I will make sure that I always stick with that layout. Now this is where this gets slightly different. Where it gets slightly different is my to-do list is shortened because I'm going to put in my exercise list. And yes, I do exercises every Tuesday and Thursday right now. I think I might switch that up in May, or I might switch that up this month. We will see. But I have all of my list of exercise in there, and I do 2 reps, or yeah, right now I'm doing 10 reps and 2 sets. I might switch that up, and we will see, because I just upped the weight. but it's something that will keep me going, keep me actually doing stuff, and that's what I think is really important in this time, is keep going, keep doing stuff, keep making sure that you are staying on track with the stuff that you are doing. If it's exercising, walking your dog, going out and just trying to get your life back to some semblance of normal. That's what this bullet journal means to me, is it gets me to the semblance of normal. And I really like that about that. And I really like the fact that I do make sure that I have a place to put in all of these things. I'm now realizing that sometimes it goes blurry because of the focus on this. But we are all set putting in those dates there, and I still cannot believe that I have not noticed that it is not there. I did get the right week in there. Now we're going to put in my mood tracker. My mood tracker is going to be a little bit different this time because I left it out of the March bullet journal because I didn't think that I needed it. But this time I am going to try to keep track of my mood, and if I'm not in a good mood, that's going to be bad. So you'll notice that I have my signifiers. My signifiers are a full flower, a half flower, one of the smaller yellow flowers, which I'm not sure what that is, and then a green dot will be my bad day. Those are my signifiers. I'm going to go through and put in the branches because the branches all help us make it look nice, and it'll give us that wreath kind of look. And if you watch the video where I put up my spring decorations, you will see that that wreath, the one that I'm sort of imitating, is in my living room, and it hangs over my couch, and it really does look sort of nice and give me that whole spring type feel. And now what we are doing is we are putting in the mood, and with that, putting in our faces, we are all done. I like that. Our April bullet journal is done for the most part. I have not gone through and erased it. There's been a lot going on today. I will go through that. You will probably see more of this, a lot more of this, if you follow me on my Instagram, because this will be posted a lot more on there. But like I said, there's been a lot going on today. So we have our cover page. Then my weekly spread, this is for the first week, which is not a full week, and it is set up just exactly the same, except for, you will notice that there is, of course, this is going to be really different, is being able to go through and put in just the dashes on the days that I do those things, because those will not be the same. And every week is set up exactly the same. Won't bother you with that because I've already talked about that. Then we have my exercise tracker, which just has the exercise listed and, of course, the date. And then my mood tracker, which will really be different because as the better mood, you have a bigger flower. Worse mood, just a little green dot. I mean, it's really, this one is set up pretty simple. The bullet journal, that looks pretty cool. I know this is like really weird, but you have to remember, it's today. Today, lots of things are going on, and I'm sure there are lots of things going on where you are, so I hope that you are staying safe. But the reason I did this video, and that's the most important part about this, is the fact that we need to get back into some sort of routine. Try to keep going with what we have. I personally think that my bullet journal will help keep me going, and so I'm going to post more of my bullet journal on my Instagram. Check down below to follow me on Instagram, so that way you can see that, yeah, this is how I'm trying to find some semblance of normalcy in all of this. Well, I hope you are doing well. Let me know down in the comments how you are doing. If you're interested in the equipment that I use, you can check that out down in the description. And I hope I get to see you again next time, and you can check out these videos that I picked out just for you.